You send a simple text. Minutes turn into hours. Your chest tightens. Your mind races. Every silence feels like the start of goodbye. This is the anxious attachment style. It is not weakness. It is a survival pattern your nervous system learned to keep you connected when love felt uncertain. An inner alarm scans for distance and clings for safety. It protected you once. Today, it steals your calm. Here, we will name what is happening in your body and mind, trace where it began, and train your system for safety instead of panic. If this resonates with you, this is your guide to understand it and begin to transform. But before you can change it, you need to see clearly what this style really means. The anxious attachment style is more than wanting closeness. It is the constant pull between craving intimacy and fearing rejection. Imagine sending a message and feeling the silence as danger, or hearing a sigh and wondering if love is slipping away. Research shows this is not just sensitivity. Brain imaging reveals that people with anxious attachment have stronger amygdala responses when they sense distance, almost as if the body treats emotional absence like a physical threat. This means what you feel is not imagined. It is a recognized pattern wired into your nervous system. You long for love, yet you brace for loss, trapped in a cycle of desire and fear. To understand why anxious attachment runs so deep, you need to look back to where it first began. It rarely starts in adulthood. It is born in the earliest bonds, in the first lessons your body received about love and safety. For many, those bonds were marked by inconsistency. Sometimes a parent was warm and present, other times distracted or emotionally absent. That unpredictability planted doubt. Will love be here when I need it most? If you were born with a sensitive temperament, those moments cut even deeper, shaping a nervous system always alert for closeness or rejection. Later experiences like separation, illness, or conditional affection only reinforce the fear. None of this means you were too much. It means your body adapted to uncertainty in the only way it could. And those patterns did not stay in the past. They show up today in how you think, how you feel, and even in the way your body reacts when connection feels threatened. These early patterns leave traces that are easy to miss until you know what to look for. Emotionally, they appear as a constant fear of rejection, the urge to replay conversations for hidden meaning, the endless cycle of rumination that never lets your mind rest. Physically, they live in your body as a racing heart, tightness in the chest, or nights of restless sleep. In daily life, they surface in moments that seem small to others. A message left unanswered, a partner active on social media but silent with you. Even short separations, like a busy workday or a weekend apart, can awaken the fear that closeness will vanish for good. These are not exaggerations. They are the natural reflexes of a nervous system trained to anticipate loss before it happens. And when this anxious attachment style enters adult love, everything intensifies. In relationships, anxious attachment often feels like walking a tightrope. Every step is filled with longing for closeness, yet every moment carries the fear that the bond could break. You may find yourself seeking constant reassurance, needing to hear words of love again and again, or feeling uneasy after even the smallest disagreements. A delayed text, a sigh at the end of the day, or a change in tone can be read as proof that affection is fading. What feels ordinary to others can feel like rejection to you. This cycle can turn intimacy into both your greatest comfort and your greatest source of stress. And it is exactly because of this tension that we need to talk about the path toward healing. Healing anxious attachment is not about erasing your sensitivity. It is about reshaping the way it lives inside you. The first step is self-compassion and reparenting. At the core of anxious attachment is a childlike fear of being left alone. When you place a hand on your heart and whisper, "I am here with you," you soothe the wound that once felt unbearable. Over time, this begins to soften the panic that closeness will always disappear. The second step is boundaries and healthy autonomy. Anxious attachment thrives when you lose yourself in others. Protecting time for solitude, honoring your own routines, or gently saying no rebuilds a sense of identity. Far from pushing people away, boundaries create a safer balance where love can breathe. The third step is emotional self-regulation. Your body needs tools for moments of panic. Slow breathing, grounding, or simply placing both feet firmly on the ground while exhaling. Remind your nervous system, "I am safe right now." These techniques reduce the urgency that fuels anxious reactions and give your body a chance to rest. The fourth step is vulnerable communication. Instead of accusation, choose honesty. Replace, "You never call me," with, "I feel anxious when I don't hear from you. Could you reassure me?" This kind of dialogue turns fear into connection, allowing your needs to be heard without shame. The fifth step is therapy and relational support. Sometimes the most powerful shift happens when you let someone guide you. Attachment-based therapy or relational groups give you a safe space to practice connection. In those spaces, you experience what it means to be fully seen and not abandoned. Each of these practices is a thread. Woven together, they move you from fear into trust, from anxious attachment into safer love. Anxious attachment is not something you need to erase. Your sensitivity is not the problem. The path forward is learning to turn that sensitivity into security. Each practice you choose becomes a thread that slowly weaves trust back into your relationships. Over time, those threads create a fabric of safety strong enough to hold love without fear. If you saw yourself in this portrait and want to understand how your own anxiety shows up, there is a quick test that reveals your personal anxiety profile. It highlights the strongest patterns in you and points to the next practical step to transform that energy into security. Discover now which anxiety profile is yours. Click the link in the pinned comment or in the description and take the quiz now.